I guess, crudely, the Snowden stuff. A surprise, and I mean by that, a surprise at quite how extraordinary it was, or not a surprise at all?
I think the scale was, at least to me, very surprising. It is, in fact, phenomenal. Actually, there's a new book by Glenn Greenwald, I don't know if it's come out here, which surveys a lot of it, brings it together, and it's really a colossal campaign. I mean, it's very clear that they want to pick up everything. Everything that anyone says, who they meet, who they see, anything you can think of. It's 100%. The goal is 100% collection of all information about all of the enemies of the state. And what this reveals pretty dramatically is something we all ought to know, that for states, one of their main enemies is the domestic population. They have to be kept under control. They're dangerous. And if you look at policy decisions, it's pretty consistent that you have to control this dangerous enemy. This carries it way beyond anything that's been done before. Of course, there's been plenty before. I mean, I was, during the 1960s, I was very much involved in resistance activities against the war in Vietnam. And we understood that you can't talk on the telephone. And if there's anything serious, something that would involve particular human beings, let's say a deserter or something, you couldn't even talk in a group of friends, because there's probably a government informer there. So everything had to be done with affinity groups. So this is well understood and goes way back, but nothing like this scale has ever happened. And Britain agrees. As you probably saw, the British government requested the NSA to provide detailed, extensive information on cell phones, social media, other forms of interaction for British citizens who are an enemy of this state. In the United States, it's kind of dramatic because of the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. The Fourth Amendment to the Constitution, part of the Bill of Rights, guarantees the security of citizens in their persons, homes, papers, and effects, and bars what are called unreasonable search and seizures. There's a reason for that. It has to do with England. The British rulers demanded the right to break into homes, to search them. And there were pretty bitter confrontations right in Boston, where I live. In fact, citizens organizing to bar the entry of British officers under what were called writs of assistance, that they could just enter wherever they liked. This was one of the things that sparked the American Revolution. And shortly afterwards, when the Bill of Rights was introduced into the Constitution, they made sure to put a barrier against any such practices on the part of the state. Well, now the Fourth Amendment is being violated in a way which is so dramatic that it takes your colleagues in the legal profession to try to figure out how to make them consistent.
But then they can always find a professor who can do the other work.
That's the role of lawyers. So yes,
well, I wouldn't go that far. But
they'll find a way to say that knowing everything that you do is a reasonable search and seizure.